estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the show. Appreciate you spending some time with us here. We got Mark Haye back in studio with us, 21st Century Financial. Also going to talk about the Florida economy. If Florida was a standalone economy, where would it rank on the world's global scale? Find out about that. Interesting take on that, as well as how to use real estate to offset your W-2 taxes. We're going to kind of have a replay of Mark and I's segment that we had last time where we were comparing stocks and real estate and some of the different ideas that he has to help you keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket, in your bank account, and not tipping the IRS. So Mark Haye in the house with us. Coming up, Dr. Scott Anderson as well. We're going to talk about America's mental health crisis that's happening, of course, right now in our great country. Before we do, I want to let you know about our event coming up. It's Third Thursday event. We're continuing our Third Thursday series throughout the entire year. You will have an opportunity to meet us, meet some of our radio show personalities, all of our expert contributors, and it was great. Had another awesome turnout last time over at Brio. This time we're moving it over to Pinellas County. Come and join us on the 16th. It's Thursday, May 16th, 6 o'clock over at Ours Creole Smokehouse. It's 3110 East Tarpon Avenue in Tarpon Springs. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have appetizers flowing. There's going to be a bar there, of course, cash bar. Great opportunity to come out and meet some great business owners, sales reps, men and women associated with the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty as well. Come on out Thursday, May 16th. Save the date. Mark that in your calendar, 6 o'clock, and you can even meet the chef. You're going to meet Chef Douglas Clark over at Ours Creole on the 16th. You can meet our team, and it's 3110 East Tarpon Avenue. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Pinellas County. Great opportunity to meet some of our partners over there. All right, real excited, too, about a couple of hot listings here. As you know, my wife, Lindsay, and I own a top 100 ranked real estate team, Keller Realty, the number one real estate company in the world, and we have an opportunity to feature our listings live on air on 80 outlets worldwide, and we're getting maximum exposure. Our sellers are selling faster for more money than a lot of the other real estate sellers, especially if you're trying to for sale by owner it. 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey, just hit the market. Beautiful property from our Platinum MVP team. 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey, 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3852 square feet. You have a end unit here, or end lot on the end of the canal. Bay access. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, and enjoy that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. Hurricane grade doors and windows. You have a wood-burning fireplace that has multiple areas where you can enjoy that from. 2 HVAC units. Gorgeous property here. Large kitchen, ample cabinets and counter space. Right on the canal. Access to the Gulf. Gulf harbors. And you have all the community access there as well with the different access to the clubhouses, etc. there. 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey, Florida. Another one of our beautiful listings from the Platinum MVP team, Keller Realty. All right, 5402 US Highway 92. This one's out in Plant City. Now, this is a bar for sale. So looking for business owners, entrepreneurs. Have you ever thought of opening a bar? Maybe you have a bar existing. You want to have a second location. 5402 West US Highway 92, Plant City. This one has a highly coveted COP license for your liquor license. Now, this license can be utilized not only on site, but you can also sell packaged liquor through a drive-through. And you can do on-location events and parties. Let's say you rented out a room somewhere, or a conference room over at the Hard Rock, for example, or something like that. You could bring this license with you and throw events. So 5402 US Highway 92, Plant City. Finish Line Saloon is the name of the bar. And you can see all of our listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check out PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Shout out to our troops out there, and we got Mark Haye back in studio. Mark, welcome in, sir.
It's good seeing you. How are you, sir?
Yeah, doing well, man. Blessed and highly favored. And I tell you, our last show, man, phones were ringing off the hook. People, it really hit a nerve with people. It really did.
Yeah, I think we did a good job comparing stock market versus real estate. You know, I think a lot of people get into the mindset of 401k, and they don't really expand their mind because there's a lot more out there than just Wall Street and mutual funds. And I think we did a good job comparing. I'm not saying one's right or one's better, but I think one is better than the other, but it's just a matter of looking at tax codes and everything else, you know. So I thought today we kind of use an example of a W-2 employee. Anybody can do this strategy, but I'm just talking about a W-2 employee because they're really hurting right now. I mean, everything's going up. Food's going up. Gas is going up. Taxes going up. And, you know, and so they're struggling. They're putting everything they can into the 401k. They're paying off their mortgage, and they still don't have any more money. And so I wanted to use this opportunity to just talk about how we position them as a business owner and using real estate as that business. Yeah. You know, and so there's a couple of different ways that we can do this. And the last one, when we get to it, is really magnificent. I can't wait to get to it. So let's start with the beginning first. But let's just take a W-2 employee making $120,000 a year. All right, it's $10,000 a month. A nice W-2. You're probably going to be paying $45,000 a year in taxes. You know, state, federal, etc. You know, now here in the state of Florida, we have no state tax, but typically, you know, you have some state tax. So they're probably paying $45,000 a year in taxes. So what we typically will do after we go through their portfolio and make sure, okay, you got this, and that, we'll say, look, let's start an LLC. Yeah. And you're now going to be a business owner, and that's going to unlock the tax code because the tax code is meant for business owners, investors, etc. It's really not meant for a W-2 employee. Right. Okay. But we want to unlock that tax code, and then your business is going to be a rental, short-term rental, Airbnb, and we're going to get a property, and we're going to put that in an LLC. Okay. Now, we have plenty of people and clients that do hard money lending. You know, they do that. So if your concern is, I can't get a mortgage, again, we have clients and people that have money that want to give hard money lending out. You know, so you don't have to go to a bank. Absolutely. You know, so certainly we work with clients and
non-conforming, unconventional.
You know what I mean? So if you're concerned about getting a mortgage, we can help you with that too. But let's just talk about how this works. So we're going to buy a piece of real estate, and let's say it's $500,000, this piece of real estate. Okay, and we're going to go purchase this, and we can depreciate that property over 27.5 years. Okay, that's one option. So if you take the property, $500,000 divided by 27.5 years, that's roughly $18,000 a year that you can depreciate on that asset. So let me explain that to you. Depreciation just means that you can subtract that from your income as a non-cash loss. So what happens is, one, you're opening up the tax code to you. So for example, to run this business or this rental income, we need a home office. So now we get to take a third of your rent, third of your mortgage, third of your utilities, your cell phone bill, everything, and now we can start deducting that because you're running this business from your home. Okay? Those are just some of the things. But now we're going to take this depreciation of $18,000 a year. Okay, and after everything's said and done and paid, you're going to profit $12,000, let's say, from that real estate. Okay, after you paid all the bills and everything else, so you're showing a positive $12,000. Well, once you take the $18,000 of depreciation, you now show a negative $6,000 on that business. Wow. Okay, it's a non-cash loss. Yeah. So instead of having $120,000 of income, you now have $112,000 worth of income. Yep. You now have deductions, your cell phone, your travel, your gas, your auto, your home office. You're deducting that all from your income, okay, and you're depreciating that asset while the asset is growing, while the asset is producing income to you. Yeah. Okay, and we're leveraging other people's money to do that, etc. So that's just one example. Yeah. But what if we could accelerate the depreciation? All right, okay. So we want to do what's called a cost segregation, and you're familiar with that, where we look at it and say, okay, we're gonna depreciate 30%. So instead of depreciating 3.6% a year, we're gonna 10x this thing, and we're gonna depreciate 30% of this property. Okay, year one. So we go buy this property, goes in the LLC, same thing, $500,000, and we say, okay, we're gonna accelerate this bonus depreciation, section 179. And now we're going to depreciate $120,000 in the first year. So you bought the piece of real estate. We use somebody else's money to do that, whether it's a bank or an individual, whatever. Leverage. Okay, you got it. We had no money out of pocket or very little out of pocket. And then we're going to bonus depreciate, section 179, and we're going to depreciate $120,000, okay, on the first year, minus all the other deductions you can do. But let's just talk about the depreciation. If you remember, you made $120,000 in your salary, your W-2 employee, okay? We know that you're paying $45,000 in taxes. Now that we bought this property, we're going to bonus depreciate, section 179, of $120,000. Yeah. So what does that equal on paper? You made zero taxable income for the year, okay, because of the non-cash loss. Love it. When that happens, you are now going to get a tax refund of $45,000. So you're going to go and purchase the property using somebody else's money. We're going to put it in an LLC. You're now a business owner. We unlock the tax code, okay? We can take advantage of all your expenses, run it through as deductions. We bonus depreciate over 27.5 years, but now in our example, we're going to do a 30% depreciation, which is $120,000. So we wiped out your W-2 employee, okay, your wages.
Yeah.
Now that you've paid $45,000 in taxes because they took it out of your paycheck, you're going to turn around and get a $45,000 return from the IRS.
Flip it and do it again.
What do you do with the money? Next year we go buy another property, 10% down, $500,000, and you do the whole thing over again.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is how people can develop massive wealth without really having to leverage or risk a whole lot.
Right.
See, the risk to me is working 30, 40 years for a company, investing in a 401k, not understanding what the mutual funds are, the stock market is, hoping that 30, 40 years from now that works out for you, and then you can go retire on whatever nest egg you saved. Oh, and by the way, that's going to be taxable down the road as well at the tax rate they declare 30 years from now. But that, to me, is risky.
Yeah.
You know, that sure we already know, and we've been through the studies, we read the articles, we already know it's a 1% chance of success following the 401k model. Okay, doing it this way, and if you don't work with an advisor that is frequent with the tax code, I encourage you, call us.
Yeah. Because
if you don't understand the tax code or use a tax code in your life, you're missing out on tons of money that could be used for your family.
Reach out to the hotline right now, 727-263-3707. Call or text our hotline at 727-263-3707. We'll put you in direct touch with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group. He's going to break down the ways that you can utilize real estate to offset your W-2 taxes with what he just described, the cost segregation, the depreciation, utilizing those means versus just taking a paycheck, putting a percentage of it into a 401k. By the way, 95% of the mutual funds do not outperform the index. So we'll talk about that coming up as well, how you can invest directly in the index as well. Mark has those programs as well. Now, the other thing too, Mark, before break, is you can also do a review for people, and they will be able to retro do that for a couple years back, depending on their status, right?
Correct. So you can carry it forward or back as well.
Yeah.
So if you say, all right, I don't need that big of a deduction. Okay, we don't want to do a 30% bonus depreciation. We'll do 10%.
Yeah.
Or, right now you can do 60%. This year it's kind of phasing out. Next year's 40. I'm hoping that if we get the right person in office, it goes back to 100.
Right.
Because that person that would be in office took advantage of the same codes that we're talking about, which they were all upset about in the 2016 against Hillary Clinton because he paid $600 in taxes because he utilized the code that they developed.
That they set.
You know what I mean? So there's nothing illegal about it. And people always kind of get nervous, like, oh, I don't want to, get an audit, this and that. But at the same time, every dollar you make, if you don't claim that or you don't show that to the IRS, that is illegal.
Right.
That's illegal. Right. That is tax fraud, evasion, etc.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that say, oh, I get paid on the table, I get paid cash, that is illegal.
Right.
What I'm talking about is certainly just following the tax code.
Follow the code.
So follow the code. Show your income. Okay, that's step number one. Show the income. Secondly, work with us, and we will help you develop a plan to get rid of it in a legal way, but at the same time, growing that portfolio for you. So if you get one rental property a year for 10 years, and let's just average $500,000 per property, over a 10-year period, 10 times $500,000 is $5 million.
Yeah.
You have $5 million worth of property that's growing, that's renting. You're taking advantage of the tax code. You're not only saving money, you're getting huge money back.
Exactly.
From the tax code to go ahead and do it again and again and again, and not wait 30, 40 years to have that lifestyle. Do it today with your family and everything else. I mean, you can use a 401k, great, but we don't want to just rely on that. That's not how you build wealth.
Right.
Wealth is doing other things like this.
Yeah. Real estate is an insurable asset. So there you go. You got insurance on the asset. You're appreciating every year, tax advantages. And if you work with a smart financial advisor like Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group, he's going to help you maximize, optimize, and put your family in a better position. Again, 727-263-3707, online at consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. You can submit an email form there, online as well. Coming up, more of this Intelligent Talk Radio. Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial, in studio with us. We're going to continue this topic. Also, talk about the Florida economy. Where would you guess, out of all of the countries in the world, if we took Florida out and looked at the gross output, where would it rank? We're going to tell you that coming up here next on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals
Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rhymes here. Mark Hayes in the house, 21st Century Financial Group. And it's the Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Quick shout out to Divine Balance Alternative Healing, my massage therapist. She does such a great job. Christina over at Divine Balance Alternative Healing. We want you reaching out to her, especially if you're in Pinellas County. It's worth the drive over to Palm Harbor. She's on Palm Harbor Boulevard there at 2708 Palm Harbor Boulevard. And professional massage, body work. There's all types of different reflexology that she offers, Thai yoga, Reiki, massage, hot stones, hot towels, all the good stuff coming out. DivineBalanceAlternativeHealing.com, DivineBalanceAlternativeHealing.com. And, of course, you could call the show. We'll put you in touch with her as well. Divine Balance Alternative Healing. Christina does a great job on massage. 5642 Egret's Place, Newport Richey, one of our favorite listings right now. This is a gorgeous home, beautiful property, gated community, Mediterranean Palace on Egret's Place in Newport Richey. 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3,000 square feet, quarter-acre lot. You've got an elevator. You've got a heated pool, waterfall feature, pavers, multiple decks, and balconies overlooking the water that leads out to the Gulf of Mexico across the street. 5642 Egret's Place, Newport Richey, another one of our beautiful real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 5121 40th Avenue North, another brand new listing, hot listing, just hit the market on 40th Avenue Northeast in St. Petersburg. 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2,062 square feet, quarter-acre lot, spacious living room and kitchen. Primary bedroom located upstairs. You have a back patio with a perfect outdoor dining, French front porch, some beautiful property, completely renovated, beautiful renovation job by the seller on this property. 5121 40th Avenue North, St. Petersburg, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check out PlatinumCoastalElite.com. All right, Mark Haye in the house. Quick clip here about the Florida economy and what an impact we are. And thank God we have a great governor here in the state of Florida.
If we were our own economy, Florida would be the 15th largest economy on the planet. Florida's economy is bigger than Saudi Arabia's. The 10th right now is Italy, right? And so if you think about it, Mexico's one in front of us. Italy is number 10. So said differently, imagine if every business and every elected official in Florida said, okay, what do we need to do to have a really good quality of life, a great environment, a great business climate, and how could we grow to be the 10th largest economy?
What's your thoughts on that, Mark Haye?
Well, let's talk about taxes. There is no state income tax in the state of Florida. That's 0%. So how could somebody with a 0% tax rate be a 10th or 15th largest economy in the world, have millions in surplus, millions? Then you go over to California and you're in a 13% state income tax.
Yeah.
Your deficit is billions. You're so far behind that you're asking the federal government for help. You can't pay the pensions. You can't pay. So you tell me why we're taxed so much. 0%, and we're in a surplus.
Yeah, exactly, because it's ran properly. It's ran right.
Yep.
You have people paying for things that should be paying for things and not just handouts catering to people that they want to vote for them, garnering votes, right? I mean, that's
it's amazing if you lower that tax bracket or tax rate, how fast you can grow.
Exactly.
You know, so when a politician says, oh, we're going to, like, I know Joe Biden came out and said he wants to make capital gains tax close to 50%. Okay.
Oh, yeah, crazy.
And he wants to tax unrealized gains, which means if your property grew this year by 20%, you're going to get taxed on that as well.
On paper gains.
Even though you're not selling that, right? Now, obviously, I hope none of this goes through and everything else, obviously. But the fact that we're even talking about going to 50% capital gain, this is stuff for what?
Yeah,
for
exactly.
what? We have a 0% state income tax. We have a surplus. Things are amazing. That means you can go all the way down to zero, and you would still have an economy that can be robust and produce.
Well, we got to support the 51st state, Ukraine.
Yeah,
right.
that's don't get me started.
The
on
51st state. It's unbelievable what's happening. All right, so we're talking with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group. We really want to make sure we talk about consumer advocate tips, things that help you as our audience. We take great pride in being your consumer advocate. Anything you need here in Tampa Bay, attorney, CPA, financial advice, all types of self-defense, home service providers. We want you reaching out to the show. We want to be that resource for you. Mark, final thoughts, top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom.
Yeah, and so just real quick, going to W-2, most of their money is going to sit in their 401k. And I'll tell them, look, let's loan that money out, because when you loan it out, you pay yourself interest. Let's say you pay yourself interest at 5-6%. What we just talked about, if you go buy that property, we cost segregate, and we eliminate your taxable income. So not only are you not going to pay the IRS $45,000, I'm going to turn around and give you $45,000 from the government. That's an $80,000 swing or $90,000 swing. Okay.
Yeah.
At the same time, that money that we took out of your 401k, when that comes back, put it back in the 401k, or who cares about that loan? You're paying yourself back with interest. Go buy the other property and the other property. But there's ways you can do it.
Right.
You just have to be creative with it,
right,
and understand what it is you're trying to accomplish, which is financial security and freedom. And we want to do that. How do you do it? You got to use things that you have available, and there's things that you can do. You just got to be outside the box and know them and think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because the problem is people go and they just pull the money out of 401k, pay a tax as a penalty, and then next thing you know, they're down 35% just to do that.
Yep.
Loan it. You pay yourself interest and go do what I just said, and you're going to get a check for $45,000 from the government. Go ahead and pay yourself back.
Yeah, by the way, we can help you find a deal. Right now, a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, the market's off. It's not a good market. It's not a good economy. It is if you work with the right advisor, if you work with the right real estate agent. We're going to be able to help you find a deal, because sellers are willing to make a deal right now, especially the sellers that need to sell or really want to sell. We're able to have seller concessions built into the deals. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to reach out to the show, reach out to the hotline. We'll put you in touch with Mark Haye or any of our expert contributors. 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. And the consumerqb.com is our website. Mark's, what's your website?
It's xxifinancial.com, or you can text me at 727-804-7220.
Give that one more time.
727-804-7220.
All right, good stuff. Hey, great nuggets there. Using real estate to offset your W-2s and your taxes. Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. All right, taking a quick break. Coming back, Dr. Scott Anderson in the house, America's mental health crisis. We're going to discuss that. Also talk about the solutions and how you can get help locally if you know of somebody that's dealing with addiction or any of these types of mental health issues here in Tampa Bay. And we'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here. We got Dr. Scott Anderson joining us here in studio. We're going to talk about America's mental health crisis and some of the solutions for that coming up here on the program. Also get a definition on what is helicopter parenting. You've heard that term, and we're going to talk about some of the applications, or have seen what he's seen in that coming up here on the show. Before we do, want to thank one of our sponsors. Big shout out to our friends over at Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Stephen Gunnan, Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at replenishivsolutions.com. Check them out online, replenishivsolutions.com. They've got a Gandy location, Carrollwood location, multiple Bay Area locations. They can also come to you at your home or office, and we're talking about those vitamin infusion drips directly into your bloodstream, boosting your immunity, making you more, boosting that immunity where you're going to be more resistant to any kind of colds in the season here. So replenishivsolutions.com. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives. All right, we always like to feature our listings on air. Our strategy works, helps us sell faster for more money, maximum exposure for our real estate sellers. By the way, if you're buying, selling, or investing, we'd love to talk to you. 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Indian Shores. This is a beach property. This is a gorgeous property right on the beach. We just did a price improvement as well. We are seeing a record number of price improvements on the selling side, on the listing side. So right now is a great time to buy. Still, people are kind of mixed up about the market a little bit. Some people I'm talking to, still a great time to buy. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square feet, 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Unit F. This is on Indian Shores, and I love this property because you're right on the beach. You have a heated pool. You walk out, you're on the sugar sand beaches, dolphin-filled waters of Indian Shores. That's beautiful, Pinellas County. And if you look out the right-hand side of the balcony there, you're going to be overlooking the intercoastal waterway, seeing the boats going by, looking at Tom Stewart Causeway right there in your view. Only $250 a month is the HOA, as well as, yes, you can short-term rent this property. Beautiful Gulf Boulevard property at 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Unit F, Indian Shores. We've got a new listing at 21480 Southwest Marine Boulevard. This is a property in Dunellen, Florida, towards the northern part of our listening audience, up towards Ocala. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You got a serene location nestled in the heart of Rainbow Lake Estates. Recently installed, beautiful pink plank vinyl flooring that is spans throughout the home. Extra spacious, great room, flooded with natural light, providing a tranquil retreat for relaxation and entertainment. Beautiful flooring throughout this home, and it looks like a nice quiet area as well. So venture a short distance to the charming downtown area of Dunellen, Florida. Another one of our hot listings, and you're very close to the renowned crystal clear waters of Rainbow Springs. 21480 Southwest Marine Boulevard in Dunellen, Florida. You can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check out PlatinumCoastalElite.com. All right, we're joined now by Dr. Scott Anderson right here in Tampa Bay. Welcome back in, Doc.
How you doing?
Excellent. Blessed and highly favored, man. Yourself?
Glad to be here. Same.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is a kind of a time in our country's history where we're seeing unprecedented numbers, unprecedented challenges for both children, teenagers, and then parents alike. It's a tough time for people.
Absolutely. There is a mental health crisis. I think that's abundantly clear. I think anybody can tell that. What's going on, though, is really affecting the children, because if the parents aren't stable, obviously the children won't be stable either. That's my greatest concern, because I work with children a lot, and I see the effects of all this going on, and it's crippling. It really is crippling. I was going to give you some stats, because I know you're a stat guy. You look at half of our children in America right now, half our children, this is ages about 13 to 17, feel sad, feel unsafe, feel almost disenfranchised. They don't feel like there's a future for them. You've got, 1 in 5 children of those children seriously contemplate suicide. 9% in the last year have committed suicide.
Wow.
I mean, that's unbelievably, it's sad and it's scary to me that it's that prevalent. Nearly 70% of children in our society currently have problems with obesity or being overweight. And then there's lots of health issues that come along with that. So the deck is stacked against them. They've got lots of issues. For the first time ever, like you said, this is unprecedented. For the first time ever, you have a majority of children that are suffering with depression, anxiety, juvenile delinquency, obesity. It's terrifying. They're failing at school. They're failing at life. And it's terrifying.
Well, so what is the cause? Why do you think it's happening?
Well, I know you and we've talked about this before, and there's 2 major culprits to this, two major reasons. There's a multitude of others, but the primary is the breakdown of the nuclear family. I know you're a big family man, and we've talked about the importance of that, but that is it. It's the erosion and deterioration of the traditional nuclear family, the fatherless homes.
Yep.
We have a generation now of gentle parenting, of overindulgence or helicopter parenting. I know you were asking about that. And this type of best friend or iPad parenting doesn't work. It's a catastrophic failure. And that's one of the biggest causes. The second cause is social media, the addiction to technology, to cell phones. That has an unbelievable detrimental effect to not just adults, but children as well. So those are the two major sources.
Yeah, and I'll throw another one in there. If you look at the way that the universities have been shifting left,
Propaganda,
hardcore left,
indoctrination.
after Vietnam is typically. I saw a good documentary on that. I think somebody recommended for me to watch that, and then now. They have graduated. Now they're teaching the youth. Now they've gone on to be elementary school teachers or
there used to be a mix
school
between
teachers.
conservative and liberal.
Yeah.
Now, after the 60s and in the early 70s, that shift changed to it's almost 98% liberal now.
Yeah, so now you got they're teaching all this craziness, the critical race theory, the DEI
Marxist
policies.
propaganda, anti-America, hatred of country.
Yeah, purple-haired jihadis is, I think, like
Absolutely.
Charlie Kirk calls them. But you have that, and that element. So then the kids are growing up confused. You're coming back. How many times have you heard the story of someone that raises their kid with good, wholesome family values?
Yep.
The father in the household, praying before meals, yes ma'am, no sir,
Conservative moral values.
Right, and then the kid comes back from school, and of course now he or she is indoctrinated, and that's why I think Charlie Kirk wrote the book College Scam.
Absolutely. I wouldn't send my kid to college to save my life at this point because it's a waste of time and money. It is a scam.
There's some good schools though, still aren't there?
There are, and but you have to be very diligent in who you seek out. But a lot of these Ivy League and so-called prep schools, the big schools, the top tens, it's just a waste of time and money.
Let me play a clip while we're on that
Sure.
point because it actually have a clip that goes directly with that. This is from Daily Wire.
A new report finds that an increasing number of students are deciding not to apply to elite colleges. Instead, many are choosing to attend school in the South.
Megan, this is a fascinating story. The South has been the fastest growing region of the country for the last few years. Now it seems some college students are part of that migration. Just how prevalent is this trend?
Well, I wouldn't say the numbers are seismic yet, but they are significant. So this latest report comes from the Free Press, and when they looked at college application rates in the Ivy League, they found that both Brown University and Harvard are down this year. So 5% for Brown, 3% for Harvard. Now,
Yeah, Doc, see your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of self-evident. I think in the South there's still a stronghold, especially here in Florida. We have DeSantis here, and we've got a lot of conservative, moral, traditional, nuclear family values, and that value in that community that we have here obviously is going to pour over into our schools here as well. We have a pride in Florida that a lot of people don't, a patriotism, a love of God, family, and your fellow man, and that's really important to instill. Not that there aren't obviously liberal teachers in some of these colleges, but for the most part, Florida's been inoculated so far, and we've been resistant to the overall change of like the blue state schools.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw a report recently too, where in Gainesville, I think they had 3 or 4 people that were trying to set up tents, and immediately shut it down, arrested them, said, "Look, you know the rules. This is not within the rules." And then I think they get trespassed, and if they trespass, that's 3 years now that you cannot be on any campus property.
Plus, they violate the code of conduct.
Exactly.
I mean, you could have a conservative out there, and he could bring a flyer out, walk across campus saying Trump is good, and they'll put him in prison, drop him out of school, and fail him out, and to have these people do what they're doing and chant death to the Americans and death to the United States, and is just outrageous. And again, this is the byproduct of faulty parenting. Helicopter parenting you were asking about, and basically that's an overindulgence into the child's business. I mean, you're hovering over them is kind of the analogy, but basically you're over-controlling, overbearing on the child. The other type of parenting, which is similar, is the overindulgence. You overindulge your child. You give them everything without having to work for anything.
Exactly.
Same with gentle parenting. There's no discipline. There's no structure. There's no routine. So kids don't learn impulse control. They don't learn critical thinking. They don't learn to be able to assess thinking in that way. So when they go to these colleges, they're wide open for indoctrination and brainwashing. And that's what's happening, and that's why they're doing that.
Let me ask you this question too. When you have that parent, that similar parent, the helicopter parent, and the child does get in some type of a altercation or problem at school, a teacher reprimands them, that same parent will be the one to go and attack the teacher.
Exactly.
Instead of saying, hey, what did you do as the kid? What did you do? Let's talk about what you did. What was your part in this role, in this action?
And I was in the school districts and as an ESC specialist, and I can tell you, I used to see that all the time with certain types of students, their parents. They would come in and want the teachers to fix the problem rather than have the child conform to and better themselves, to adapt and overcome, to be smarter and better and more apt at handling life. And again, when you have these entitling, overindulging parents, the kid doesn't learn discipline. He doesn't learn coping skills. He doesn't learn how to deal with life and how to deal with conflict. So you get temper tantrums, and you see these college-age kids throwing temper tantrums and these fits like a small child because they haven't developed, because the parents. The parenting is a failure.
We got to take a quick break. I like real quick last thought on this is I think it's Jocko that says discipline equals freedom. He's got discipline equals freedom. And he's got this whole mantra that he starts about that. But yeah, very interesting. More good stuff coming up with Dr. Scott Anderson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, America's mental health crisis. We're going to talk about that and the solutions on the flip side here coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, save our hotline. We'd love to connect with you, and also follow us online. We'd love to connect at Brandon Rhymes 1 at CQB Show. And you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just search Consumer Quarterback Show. Welcome back. We appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, supporting the local economy by supporting all of our expert contributors that take time out of their busy schedules, come in the studio here and talk about current events, things happening in the marketplace, helping make you more street smart, as we always say here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com. Online, you can find all our resources there at consumerqb.com. Links to all of our expert contributors, all their contact information there as well. Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company right here in Tampa Bay. Say hello to Ramin and his team. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. HeightsSoftWash.com. Check them out online for all your real estate cleaning, pressure washing your homes, your driveways, fences. You can hit them up at HeightsSoftWash.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, a couple of hot listings here. We got a brand new property here at 7325 Skybird Road, unit number 399. This one's in Bradenton, Manatee County. Beautiful property here. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. You have a 1-car garage, open floor plan, 20 square foot condo with lake views. Recently remodeled, lots of updates and upgrades here. Granite counters, wood cabinets, stainless steel appliances. You have $15,000 stretch ceiling in the living room. You have new AC, washer, dryer, freshly painted interior. Beautiful property. Now, you also have amenities here. This one has 81-foot lagoon-style heated pool, clubhouse, fitness center, catering kitchen. And you are located near the Gulf beaches there, downtown Riverwalk, dining, shopping, and more. 7325 Skybird Road, number 399 in Bradenton, Florida. Another one of our beautiful listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, PlatinumCoastalElite.com. 147 Callaway Avenue in Spring Hill. In Spring Hill and Pasco County, man, you get so much more bang for your buck up there, folks. This is a nice property here. 147 Callaway Avenue, Spring Hill, fully renovated top to bottom in 2018. 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2-car garage, paved driveway. You have fenced property with a back patio, screened in lanai there. Gorgeous property here. Great opportunity to own real estate and a lot of bang for your buck up there in Spring Hill, Florida. 147 Callaway Avenue, Spring Hill. You can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check out PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it there.
All right, so we're having a conversation with Dr. Scott Anderson in studio, America's mental health crisis. And, Doc, we're talking about, some of the reasons why and the challenges of parents and teens alike. But you also mentioned social media. How does that affect the kids and the teens?
Well, actually, Yale just came out with a study. It's a little older, but a recent study, I should say. And they studied the effects, and they found that, along with many other studies, but Yale recently, they found that many of the children, a vast majority of the children, have serious side effects. One is attention deficits, depression, anxiety, self-esteem issues. those are the things associated with overstimulation, is what the study basically said, is that overstimulation to the brain produces dopamine and serotonin. Too much of that over time creates the side effects, and the side effects of anxiety, depression, attention deficits, sadness, unrealistic self-esteem issues.
Yeah. I could see that, man. If you look back in the day, like our cartoons from my generation, right? You had, just some of the old ones, the Wascally Wabbit,
Tom and Jerry,
right?
Woody Woodpecker, Popeye.
Woody Woodpecker, Popeye. I used to love that one. Space Ghost, all these different ones, but they were slower pace.
Absolutely.
And then now you look at things like SpongeBob SquarePants or some of these other, right? And
It's
they're
just
so
bizarre.
much faster pace, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's on the same.
It's just
tune.
a hodgepodge of different stimuli. There's no moral message.
Right.
In all those other cartoons, there was a moral. There was a message.
Yeah.
There was, even though it was sophomoric humor, in pratfall, it was at least had some type of message, some type of meaning to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a theme overall. Hey, here's what this character's about. Here's why it's funny.
Yeah, overcoming obstacles and fixing things. Yeah.
Yeah, funny stuff, man. But yeah, so it's come a long way, and man, it's too fast paced now, right? As the kids are overstimulated, that's contributing to the ADD.
That's what it is. It's overstimulation. They are looking at things they probably shouldn't be looking at.
Yeah.
So they're hypersexualized. They're looking at a whole bunch of violence and terrible, horrible things I've seen on there. You're seeing tons of propaganda, unrealistic, like Lamborghinis and Lambos, all that good stuff.
Lifestyles.
Lifestyles that are unrealistic, unsustainable.
Yeah.
Relationships start to get separated because it's not real life. So when you're not living real life and you're not connected, obviously the side effects are the aforementioned.
And the Christian side of that is it's false idols, right?
Yeah,
Kids
of
are
course.
growing up idolizing these
hero
exotic
worshiping
cars.
and idolizing
exactly.
sports players and actors. Absolutely.
Yeah, instead of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. So let's see here. So I want to go back to the solution and the job of the parents.
Sure.
What's your thoughts around that?
Yeah, because it's hard. Parenting's hard. Don't get me wrong, and parents aren't going to like what I'm about to say. So here's a trigger warning. Basically, listen. The job of the parent isn't to be liked or to be best friends or to have your children as your moral support.
Exactly.
They're there to teach. You're there to guide, and you're there to teach them internal stability, self-reliance, coping skills, critical thinking, impulse control, especially physical health, community involvement and duty, spirituality, religion, morals, compassion, respect, work ethic, and patriotism, which is the love of God, country, and your fellow man. The goal is to create a well-adjusted, strong, righteous, hardworking, intelligent, competent, prosperous, independent person. That's your goal as a parent. And the children are the byproduct of these parents in how they're being raised. And the parents are failing their children. This descent into a perverted, depraved culture has to stop, and it has to start with the parents.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll kind of flip that on the edge too, and I'll say, look, as the 10 Commandment, I believe it's number 5. It's honor thy parents, right?
Yes.
It doesn't say love your parents.
Yes.
It doesn't say like your parents. It says you must honor them, and I think that's intentional, right?
Of course it
You got
is.
to honor them, not love them, and it also it's the only commandment that comes with a promise.
Absolutely.
And the promise is so that you will live long and prosper in the land.
And
in
that's
which you
just
were.
it. You have to trust your parents are guiding you properly, and you may not like their decisions and at the time, but you'll end up loving and respecting them, and that's far more important.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. About a minute left. Final thought, and how do you want people to connect? Yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, mental health matters. Mental health matters. Be well. If you need help and you can't afford it, you don't have access to it, you can go to my YouTube page and or TikTok. It's under Dr. Anderson, and you'll get free education materials, even therapeutic videos that you can access for free.
And they can still meet with you and consult
Absolutely.
with you.
You can contact me directly at 813-731-9375 or 813-978-1300 with Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa.
Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa.
Absolutely.
Dr. Scott Anderson. You can also find all of his information on our website at consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com. He'll have a show card there, contact information online at consumerqb.com. Yeah, we got to do a little better for our children, man.
Absolutely.
We got to.
Absolutely. And you know what? If parents put forth the effort, it wouldn't be that hard of a fix. When I do work with parents and they understand that they're part of the problem and then they correct their end and stabilize that, the kids respond incredibly.
Yeah, exactly. Get them in church, guys. Get them in church if they're not. Dr. Scott Anderson, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you.
Good stuff there. Well, hey, another great show. I want to thank our producers, everybody behind the scenes making the show happen. And we had a great show here. Mark Haye on the front end. Had Dr. Scott Anderson. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.